You know what ruins people faster than betrayal? Love. Not real love, not healthy love. I'm talking about the kind of love where you abandon yourself just to keep someone else comfortable. Yeah, that one. The kind where you ignore red flags because you're afraid of being alone. The kind where you silence your instincts because maybe you're overthinking. The kind where you keep giving even when your soul is screaming to stop. That's not love. That's self-destruction wearing a romantic mask. Here's the Joker's code, the one nobody teaches you. Never love anyone more than your peace. Because the moment someone becomes more important than your peace, they own you, your mood, your reactions, your sleep, your focus, your self-respect. They don't even have to try. You hand it to them willingly. And people don't protect what they don't earn. You ever notice how the people who cause the most chaos in your life are always the ones you love the hardest? Coincidence? No. Chaos thrives where boundaries are weak. The more you tolerate, the more they test. The more you forgive, the more they repeat. The more you explain, the less they respect you. And every time you choose them over your peace, you teach them exactly how much damage you're willing to take. Peace is expensive. It costs relationships. It costs attachments. It costs illusions. It costs people who only loved the version of you that had no limits. That's why most people never choose it. They'd rather live in chaos than sit alone with clarity. But you're here because you're tired. Tired of emotional roller coasters. Tired of fixing grown adults. Tired of explaining basic respect. Tired of loving people who only love convenience. Here's the dark truth nobody admits. People don't ruin your peace. You hand it over, hoping they'll value it. And when they don't, you blame them. But peace isn't something you negotiate with someone else. Peace is something you defend. Violently. Silently. Without apology. People are taught to love blindly, to sacrifice endlessly, to stay loyal even when it costs them their sanity. And nobody warns you what happens when love demands more than your peace. Because the moment you love someone more than your peace, you give them permission to control your life. Your sleep becomes unstable. Your mood becomes reactive. Your thoughts become crowded. Your instincts become silent. Your self-respect becomes negotiable. That's the price. Not all love destroys you, but the wrong attachment always does. Look closely. The people who disturb your peace are never confused about what they're doing. They know when they cross the line. They know when they drain you. They know when they disrespect you. They just rely on one thing, that you'll tolerate it because you're afraid to lose them. That's not love. That's leverage. Peace is the first thing you trade away when you're scared of being alone. You ignore red flags because silence feels scary. You accept chaos because distance feels painful. You justify disrespect because detachment feels unfamiliar. So you stay. And every day you stay, you slowly disappear. Not all at once, piece by piece. Until one day you wake up exhausted and can't explain why. That's what happens when love becomes louder than your inner voice. Peace doesn't shout, peace whispers. And people who benefit from chaos always try to drown it out. They'll call you cold the moment you set boundaries. They'll call you selfish the moment you choose yourself. They'll call you distant the moment you stop explaining. But what they're really reacting to is loss of access, because peace is expensive. It costs relationships that survive on imbalance. It costs connections that require your silence to function. It costs people who only feel powerful when you feel small. Here's the hard truth. If someone requires you to lose peace to keep them, they are not meant to stay. Love that destroys your calm is not love, it's consumption. Real connection doesn't demand self-betrayal. It doesn't keep you anxious. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't punish you for needing space. Anything that does isn't intimacy, it's erosion. Peace is not weakness. Peace is alignment. When your peace is protected, you think clearly. You move deliberately. You choose wisely. You stop reacting and start deciding. And that's when everything changes. Because people can argue with your words. They can manipulate your emotions. They can twist your intentions. But they can't negotiate with your silence. They can't bargain with your absence. They can't control someone who values peace more than approval. You don't owe anyone access to your inner world. You don't owe explanations to those who ignore your boundaries. You don't owe loyalty to chaos. Love people, but never at the cost of your clarity. Care, but never at the cost of your stability. Give, but never at the cost of your identity. Because once your peace is gone, everything else becomes noise. Protect it, not loudly, not angrily, not dramatically, just decisively. There comes a point where pain stops feeling dramatic and starts feeling instructional. That's when you realize your peace was never fragile. You were just giving it away to people who treated it like a luxury they didn't have to pay for. Loving someone more than your peace doesn't make you noble. It makes you predictable. Predictable people get managed, used, scheduled, handled. They learn your triggers, your forgiveness patterns, your fear of loss, your habit of staying. And once someone knows you'll sacrifice your calm to keep them, they stop respecting the cost. That's how control is built, not with force, with tolerance. You tolerate disrespect once, it becomes permission. You tolerate chaos twice, it becomes routine. You tolerate emotional neglect long enough, it becomes your normal. And the scariest part? You start defending it. You tell yourself, this is what love looks like. That you're strong for enduring. That leaving would mean failure. But endurance without boundaries is just slow self-erasure. Peace isn't passive. Peace is disciplined. It's saying no before resentment is born. It's walking away before bitterness takes root. It's choosing silence instead of another pointless explanation. Peace is knowing that not every bond deserves maintenance. Some connections are lessons. Some people are warnings. Some relationships exist only to teach you what never to tolerate again. When you finally choose peace, something uncomfortable happens. The people who benefited from your chaos become offended by your calm. They'll accuse you of changing, of becoming distant, of being cold. What they're really saying is, you no longer respond the way I need you to. And that's when you know you made the right choice. Peace rewires your life. You stop rushing replies. You stop over-explaining decisions. You stop chasing reassurance. You stop negotiating your value. You start moving slower but stronger, quieter but sharper, and people feel it. They feel it because peace removes leverage. No emotional buttons, no predictable reactions, no access to your inner chaos. You become unreadable, and unreadable people can't be controlled. This is where most people get it wrong. They think choosing peace means isolating yourself. No, it means filtering. The right people don't disturb your calm. They don't compete with your stability. They don't require you to shrink, bend, or bleed to keep them comfortable. Anything that does was never meant to stay. Loving someone should not cost you sleep, should not cost you clarity, should not cost you dignity. If it does, it's not love. It's attachment mixed with fear. And fear has never built anything worth keeping. Here's the truth you carry forward. Peace is the foundation, not the reward. You don't earn peace after surviving chaos. You choose it before chaos chooses you. And once you choose it, consistently, quietly, without apology, your life stops feeling heavy. Not because everything is perfect, but because nothing has permission to drain you anymore. Protect your peace, not when it's convenient, not when it's easy, but when it costs you someone you thought you needed. That's when it matters most.